and I couldn't know. And hello guys, we are back. Sorry about the slight delay. Unfortunately, Alfie isn't here. Unfortunately, he was having some connection issues. So I'm going to be here all by myself. See if everyone's in the right order. Brando, get on your softs. Yeah, everyone's in the right order. Naughty Bradford. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Only myself here now, as already stated, but I had no viewers at that point. Alfie's had to leave due to connection issues, as he couldn't even load the game. So he will have me. Hopefully he will be here for next week. Fingers crossed. But anyways, we are going to be going soon. I'm going to just check that everyone's on the right tyres. Yep, everyone's fine. Top 9 only have to be on the same tyres. But here we go. Time for the formation lap. Hopefully people have put their setups on. Otherwise, enjoy your race. Technically, Bonge didn't have a setup on Britain in the main race and was able to get a fairly decent start. I don't think Seb is taking any part of this formation lap. Oh, there you go. He's just been disqualified. So that Joe got for what to say a Ferrari then, but it's clearly not a Ferrari. It's McLaren. So we have Let Joe in P2, Bonge in Let Joe in P1, Bonge in P2, Brando P3, Pete in P4, Havoc P5, Hunt in P6, Tazonic P7, Southern Ping in P8, Bradford P9, Reese in P10, Ramsey P11, Lucas A P12, Shadow Moore in P13, Paperstream in P14, Greg Stars P15, Despair in P16, Gangster Owl P17, Richard P18 and Eclipse PGR in P19. This restart has definitely helped Richard after he crashed under safety car. Hopefully we won't have that problem this time, fingers crossed. Touch wood. But I hope everyone is having a lovely evening. You've got the 2 viewers, so I hope you're all having a wonderful day. I certainly have enjoyed my day. Got a quick swig of a drink. Seb isn't going to have the greatest of all launches when it comes to racing. Hopefully this time Bonge will be able to get a better start. Hopefully no safety car interrupts it this time. A big gap between the top 7. Everyone's now fitting into their grid slots nicely. Wait for Eclipse to get into his grid box. And there we go, we'll jump on board with Let Joe. Oh, it's done it again. One, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And away we go for the Emilia Grand Prix, and Joe has got a decent start, and we've already got some people off. Clips up to last now, and Joe into P1 as it stands, and Pete going up the inside of Brando, but Brando's ahead. Seb has made up 3 positions already, make that 4. He's having a great start already. Pete around the outside of Brando, Shadow Mule and Despair getting close to each other on track. So Mule gonna look for, he's got a nice run on Despair actually, down the inside, doesn't go for the move though, it's gonna run up very wide, it's gonna give Reese a good way to come back at him, but I think we've got Greg Stars around. Greg Stars is off, using a bit of a spin, goes to the back of and Bradford having a decent race so far. Oh, we've got contact I think between Havoc and Despair. Has now got past Tazonic. Tazonic I think has got a bit of contact with Despair there. Ooh, 2 Mercedes getting very close. We've got another yellow flag, and that's Greg Stars. I have no idea who that guy is, but we move. Greg Stars picks up a 3-second time penalty. Not having the race that he wanted. We've got Havoc overtaking Pete for P4, but ooh. Havoc just keeping ahead of Pete there. Oh, Ramsey's out. That might be a safety car. It isn't as of yet. Greg Stars into the pits, and we have a virtual safety car. Be interesting to see when these soft tyre runners will decide to come in. Let's see if Joe decides to pit on lap 1 or lap 2, should I say. Doesn't pit. Bonge obviously stays out. Clips PGR with a 3-second time penalty. I would imagine we're probably going to get going any second now. DRS has now been enabled, so we are back under racing conditions. Let's get on board with Taz. He's currently sat behind his teammate. Oh, he's off track though. Oh, down the inside. See if we can get the job done. He does get some traction. A lot better. Despair and Bradford. Could be an interesting battle. Bradford runs out wide, same as Hunt actually. We've got another yellow flag. Oh, Joe's round. Joe's spun. Needs to be careful. And I think Despair is spun as well. Havoc has a 3-second time penalty. Bond is leading the race. Oh, I think Joe might have to pit. I think his tyre is absolutely cooked. Spare's tyres look fairly decent. Bond sets the fastest lap of the race so far. Obviously this is the first lap we've had kind of under racing conditions. Joe decides to stay out though. Oh, I think Despair, I think he's going to have to, he stays out. Oh, we've got Paper Stream round as well. A lot of people spinning. Got a yellow flag. Oh, and we've got Havoc off as well. A lot of people going off the track. As of right now, Bond would only be 1 point behind Joe. Oh, and Havoc, I think, has been tagged by Despair. I don't think that was Despair's fault. Bradford picks up a 3-second time penalty. Regstar's setting the fastest lap so far now. Oh, we've got someone, I think someone pings off as well. Everyone's falling off the track. Joe now into a point paying position. Someone ping losing some more points, positions actually, sorry. Has to come out just behind Richard. Bond's replying back to that, setting the fastest lap, but I think Havoc has got up and running again. But Joe, we've seen him come from the back of the grid to win a race, so I wouldn't count Joe out. I mean, he did fairly well. Oh, and Reese and Shadow Muir out, and oh, they've gone off. That's going to be a safety car. It is. That is a big collision. Oh, they've actually done it. Oh, they've actually done a Bottas and George Russell. They actually have. Oh my god. Someone ping Havoc and that's it into the pits. Regstars might just come out just behind these two. Yeah, it's going to slip in just behind Havoc here. Safety car will have to pick up the leader. Let's see if Bonds pits though. It'll be interesting to see if he does. Let Joe up into P7. He did get that move done on Lucasade. Oh, Bond fakes it into the pit lane. So did Brando, stays out. Pete also stays out. RSF1 staying out. Bradford also staying out. Clips picks up a 3-second time penalty. Taz on it, stays out. Let's see if Joe, he was contemplating whether to go. Reece Simo has left the session after crashing out, which is unfortunate for him. I don't think anyone is going to pit. Maybe Despair will. Doesn't have the gap to Eclipse, but or Richard, but Despair does indeed pit, which moves Richard up into P11. Eclipse off the track once again. Needs to be careful. Paper Stream is going to be right behind the Paper Stream on those hard compound tyres. The safety car has definitely helped let Joe out. But Joe now needs to get past Tazonic and Bradford. RSF1 Hunt, Pete and Brando and Bonds to win this race. Despair picks off a 3-second time penalty. I'd imagine one more lap under safety car. Oh, Despair needs to be careful. It's only safety car conditions, so you should catch up to the rest of the pack. Tazonic is into the pits though. Want to get rid of those soft compound tyres. He does have to have a change of wing though, so I reckon he may have run into the back of Bradford potentially. Should get out ahead And I think Despair will get out ahead of Taz. He will. Southern Ping though. Tazonic is now nearing. Actually, no, Southern Ping. Actually, he might be last at this point. Richard is into the points. The first time this season. It's all about if he can stay there. Now, obviously, Bradford isn't a easy person to overtake. It can be very challenging too. Who's currently watching? We've got Bonge, Havoc. Funny enough, Ramsey did predict the Mercedes and Williams crashing together, and it was at the same corner as well, which was pretty funny. Safety car is in this lap, I would imagine. Be tempting to see where Bonge goes for it. Oh, Richard's round. Oh, and Jack is out of the race. Safety car's in this lap though. Seb has picked up a time penalty. I'm not sure. Since the hour's round, Seb is also round. I have no idea what's going on, but safety car in this lap. Safety car could be out again once they cross the line. Safety car's in. And Bonge has absolutely gunned it. Sector 3 yellow flag. I think that might be for the debris. But we're going again to Spare, gets past Paper Stream. Paper Stream into P9, didn't even realise that. What Paper Stream? Havoc getting past Southern Ping, a little bit further down. Got Seb and Richard into the pits, it's not going to help either one of them. Joe gets past Bradford. Didn't see that move, but Bradford comes back onto the line. That's decent racing. Despair gets past Lucasade for P7. Bradford doing everything that he can to let Joe from overtaking him. Southern Ping picks up a 3-second time penalty. This could be a good move from Let Joe. Oh my god. Bradford holding on for this position for dear life at the moment. Oh, Despair with the rear of the car. Brando gets past Bonge. Could be tactics from these two drivers. They don't really want to hold each other up, seeing as Pete isn't too far behind. Now Bonge will have the toe into turn 1. Let's see if he makes any sort of move. Brando getting very close to that wall there. I don't think Joe's losing time on Bradford. Bradford, I think, might be slightly quicker in a straight line. Bonge is just keeping it cool. Let's jump on board with Let Joe actually, see what he's doing. Spare after his spin. Bradford is lagging slightly. That might be a reason to why. Oh, and we've got a yellow flag, and that's going to be Havoc off. Oh, and I think Joe is actually. Oh, yeah, Bradford, I think, ran wide. But Bradford's coming up down the inside. Oh, they make contact. Joe has to go off track. Oh! Oh, and Joe's out. There was lag involved, I won't lie, but that seemed to be on Brad's end, and that's going to be another safety car. I would imagine Brando and Bonge will be pitting this lap. Got Richard about to be lapped. So that is the championship leader out of the race. I would imagine everyone is going to peel into the pits this lap. Despair stays out though. He will lead this race, but he does have a time penalty on his hands. Azonic, no need to pit. He actually pitted a few laps ago, I think, when the first safety car came out. Tazonic, Paper Stream into P4. Bonge will still be behind Brando. Definitely helps Seb and Richard, definitely. But we're 10 laps in, we've nearly lost half the fucking grid. That's just stupid. Now I will repeat what I literally just said. There was lag. I did mention that a few corners before that incident happened. I'm not saying that Brad has deliberately taken out Joe. I don't think Brad is that sort of driver. But from as like a mutual perspective, Brad could be in a bit of trouble with that incident. Now I could be wrong, and it could be Joe who turned into Brad, but from my point of view, Brad, as I said, was lagging, and I said that literally a few corners before the incident, as I've just said about 5 seconds ago. It'll be interesting to see what the stewards. Obviously, I am a steward myself. I won't like paper streamers into the pits. I won't accuse a driver of intentionally taking anyone out unless it's like proven, and I've seen it with my own eyes when they've literally just gone straight on and taken someone out. Then I will obviously say it, but I don't know. Could be a very tough one in the office. Obviously, Mercedes only have one driver left. After Shadow Mule unfortunately crashed up, we've got Seb making his way up. Paper Stream comes out ahead of Rich. Rich very far back. I don't know if he's made a mistake on this lap, but he'll hopefully be able to catch up to the back of the grid. We've got Spare leading, but obviously still hasn't made his pit stop, same as Greg Stars. I don't think Greg Stars is pitted. Let me have a quick look. Joe has left the session. I would imagine he is very, very annoyed. Oh no, Greg Stars has pitted. But I don't think... Oh, so has the Spare actually. Didn't even realise. But he is warning away from picking up yet another penalty. So I would imagine safety car will be out for one more lap to pick up Richard, who isn't too far behind. So I don't exactly know who's actually in the net lead of the race. Right. We're going to get this race underway again. Oh my god, Despairs somehow in P2. I'm not really sure what's happened, but Quick Stars I think has left this a little bit too late. And go! Oh, Brando's running for a move. Hunt behind Pete though. That'd be an interesting. Go on, Hunt round the outside. Oh, he's actually going for it. Oh, what a move from Hunt. Lucas in the background getting a little bit out of control. Well, out of control, I wouldn't say out of control actually, that's a bit harsh. Greg Star is using all the runoff to spare down the inside for the move for the lead. Bonge got the move done round the outside of Southern Ping in the background though. Oh, seeing some very decent overtakes. I think Greg Stars might slightly be losing a little bit of pace. Oh. Okay, what's happened here then? Brando. Sure what happened there. All of a sudden, I've got Bonge now on Taz. Where is... oh, Despaire's leading, okay. I thought Despair was behind these guys, but obviously he isn't. Myself hunting down Bonge. Bonge obviously was leading this race until the safety car came out where he decided to pit for yet another set of softs. So I'd imagine he'll have to definitely pit once again. Tazonic looking for a move on Greg Stars, but gets blocked. Oh, Bonge. Oh, be careful. I think Bonge should get this move done. Yeah, he does. Tazonic completely backs out. Bonge back up into third place. Tazonic wasn't really fighting that. RSF1 Hunt now under attack from Southern Ping. Pete is all over the back of Southern Ping as well though. Be very, very interesting. Everyone in Greg Stars has had... not sure what's happened to Greg Stars. Oh yeah, he spun, didn't he? Got a paper sheet onto the back of Richard, who's only 2.5 away from a points paying position. Only him and Eclipse without points this season so far. As full-time drivers, obviously. Spare trying to do everything that he can to break the slipstream of Brando, but Brando will have DRS this very next lap, or I mean, there's only one DRS straight down here, isn't there? Yeah. Could have had two, I would imagine, but they already opted for the... oh, Brando losing the rear slightly. It's definitely going to help Bonge, Gangster out, and Seb battling out for P9 at this current moment of time, but I think one of them has spun. Not a full spin by the looks of things. Oh, Tazonic spun though. Needs to be careful coming back onto track. Oh! I mean, Richard did have enough time to... he definitely had enough time to get out of the way. That's all I'm saying about that. Greg Stars is stuck in the pits by the looks of things. Let's hope Pete doesn't have to pit anytime soon. Spare stays out, same as... oh, RSF1 Hunt's in though. I think Greg Star's got a problem here. Let's hope Pete doesn't have to pit. Game's broke, I'm stuck in the pits, completely frozen. Yeah, I can say leave the game, then hopefully the game... yeah, rejoin mate, because your car's just gone. If you're still there, Greg Stars, you can just rejoin, mate. You should be able to take control of your car. Ooh. That's a new one. Oh. Was a new one. Zonic has left. He's going for a good battle there, but unfortunately he's crashed out. No fault of his own. I'm not blaming on Richard either. It's just an unfortunate accident. Why is Despair that he sped off for literally no reason? Now Despair might win this race, but Brando and Bond have no penalties. Got Lucasade into the pits. So Paper Stream will move up one place. Paper Stream on mediums. Lucasade for another set of mediums. That might take him to the end. Be a battle between RSF Hunt and Lucasade. Are you back in the lobby, Greg Stars? Because obviously I can't really tell, because I don't know if you've rejoined. Just let me know in the chat. Once you get to Lucasade, I'd say pause your game and just quickly give us a quick message. Anyway, safety car probably up for one more lap. Not even halfway yet. We've had half the grid basically died. You want some help with comms, so I mean, there's not long left, mate. I'm alright doing it myself. You can go play COD or whatever. I don't mind doing it by myself. Quite entertaining, to be fair. So Despair obviously doesn't need to pit, but I would imagine he would need to. Stream's back in. Apparently Lucasade is 15 laps down. I do not believe that for 1 minute. I don't know if Greg Stars is... No, he's a lap down on everybody, apparently. That makes no sense, but alright, whatever. Paper Stream will stay in P10 as it stands. Safety car should be in, I'd imagine, this lap. So as of this moment, it will be Brando, Bonge, Pete for the podium. Just gonna have a quick check. So Despair is okay. Brando's only one warning away. Bonge is fine. Pete is 2 warnings away from a pen. Did Seb... Yeah, Seb must have pitted for another set of... Safety car is in this lap, so we're going to jump on board with the Aston Martin. No, I'm being a race engineer for Bonge and Adam. Fair enough. So Despair leaving a massive gap to the safety car, so he can probably get going a little bit sooner, and I think he's gone already. Left Brando with a bit of surprise. Yellow flag, but that's disappeared. Bonge on an absolute mad charge, but we've got Pete onto the back of 7 Ping. No moves up at front as of yet. We've got Seb getting past Gangster Owl for P6, and that's a super crucial move. And now Seb is all over the back of 7 Ping and Pete now. And 7 Ping, oh, they're going to make contact, but they don't take each other out, which is Obviously a good thing. But that would have spiced up a little bit more. Seb would have gained probably 2 positions there. 3 positions, I would imagine. Paper Stream now onto the back of Lucozade. Lucozade, if you take out Paper Stream, you will no longer be my brother. I hope you know that. Greg Stars picks up a blue yellow flag. 5-second time penalty for ignoring. And Brando is into the lead of the race. The top 3 have absolutely gone, but Brando loses the rear end coming out of the chicane. The spare has a decent run, but you have to be careful of Bonge is behind you, and he is on fairly fresh softs compared to these worn mediums. Bonge, I would imagine everyone would have to pit at least one more time. Bonge will hope that his next pit stop is a good one, or he might wait until another safety car, which will most likely happen. Got Lucozade making a move on Seb down the inside, and there's a lovely move. Not sure what's happened to Seb. He's lost quite a bit of time. Greg Stars now needs to get out the way of Lucozade, otherwise he will pick up yet another time penalty. And he does not want that. He's off the track though. We've got flag that'll be for Pete getting out of the way. I would imagine to spare all over the back of Brando. As it stands, only the Haas and Ferraris and the Alfa Romeos will be taking points home for both drivers. Bonge looking to get I would imagine he's probably just going to sit behind these two. Hasn't used that much ERS either. He's definitely on ERS saving mode. Not like he needs to, but he's into the pits. DRS enabled. He will go to P10, but maybe he knows something that we don't. Thanks to Al and RSF1 Hunt. Lucozade round the outside. Can he get this move done? Oh, he's done a Hamilton. Seb round the outside, but Lucozade cuts back. And will he take it up the inside for the first time? And Lucozade round the outside now, and he's run out wide, and I think that's going to cost him that position. It does. But he's got a fairly decent run. Seb runs out wide to gain ultimate traction. Bond only 14, what's he behind the leader? Only 27 seconds. Obviously that would be enough to come him back out into P3 if everyone was to pit, but obviously he is on those mediums to the end unless there's a safety car, and then he will most likely stay out, I'd imagine, with 11 laps remaining. He's probably going to hope for people to start betting to despair. Comes into the pits. He's wanting to get off those mediums. It'll be interesting to see if he can get out ahead of Bonge, but I don't think he's gone onto a soft to the end. Let's see where Bonge is. This could be fairly close. Bonge, I think, is going to lose out on Despair, but Despair only just coming out of the pits. This could be very, very close between these two. He's going to come up just behind. But obviously Despair with those time penalties, and we'll see if Brando decides to pit this lap. I'd imagine he probably wouldn't want to. He's got a 5-second gap to Southern Ping. This could be the win. Well, I mean, he's had a win already, but I think it got taken away from him. So Adam is 2.3 behind Pete as it stands, but he would get P3. And Lucozade, against the Owl, he's lost 2 positions in one. Seb is now behind Lucozade somehow, and Brando is in. This will be close between him and Despair. And Seb picked up a time penalty. I think someone else also picked picked up a time penalty in that as well. Oh, I thought Brando had no front wing there. I was literally pooing myself. Here comes Paper Stream. He will overtake his teammate. Despair. This is going to be close. Bond sets the fastest lap of the race, and he has. Despair has overtaken Brando. Obviously, if anyone else would pit, I would imagine. Lucas A's picked up. I think Lucas A was that other driver to pick up a penalty. Pete will lead this race. Ice up on Hunt. Picks up a time penalty, and now Pete's going to go down the inside. And he is now leading the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. Or Imola, that's what we're going to call it, because I can't be asked to name anything else. It'll be interesting to see if these guys decide to pit or not. Extreme could actually get some decent points. They're going to stay out. I think this might actually finish this way. Lucasade now under threat from Seb. Obviously this is a very long straight. So having the DRS is definitely going to be a biggie. Oh, a little bit of a touch there. Despair sets the fastest lap of the race, but Seb goes in too deep. Oh, no contact made. Only just though. This Paper Stream going to hold up Despair. And Hunt is up into P2. We've got a yellow flag. Oh, I think that's Seb round. Seb getting well out of the way of the drivers. His rear wing isn't looking exactly very nice. I mean, the Ferrari doesn't look that great either. But Pete leading this race with a few laps to go. Despair gets past Paper Stream. I think Paper Stream has let Brando through. Oh, Brando picks up a time penalty. See if these guys decide to pit. No. Lucas could bring up some very decent points for himself. And I think that's a Spare overtaking Gangster out. It is indeed. Bond, I would imagine, starting to use a little bit of his ERS. Seb is into the pits. Against the Owl, picks up a time penalty. Oh, he's off. Needs to be careful coming back onto the track. He's fine. Just out ahead of Paper Stream. I wonder if Paper Stream will let Bond through. Not going to make it very easy for him if he is. But Bond's got a decent run. Don't think he'll make any sort of rash moves going to this corner. Oh, but Paper Stream runs out wide. Bond is going to get him though. And Paper Stream backs out of that move. Now Bond's onto the back of Gangster Owl. Gangster Owl obviously having that slight off a few corners ago. Let's see if Bond will most likely wait until DRS to help him through this next part of the race. And I think Gangster Owl is pitting. He is indeed. Just to get off those hard compound. Paper Stream moves up into P8, and now Bonge lost a lot of time to Brando. I'd imagine, yeah, that time is now coming down. Despair picks up yet another time penalty, so he would be behind Brando at this point of the race. Oh, Bonds around, no! No! Someone, Lucas aids into a podium. The Despair's coming thick and fast. Despair is on an absolute mad one, as it seems. Southern Ping within DRS of Lucozade. Lucozade has nothing to really answer. He has no ERS to fight. Seb picks up yet another time penalty. And here comes Despair. Bond is into the pits. I would imagine maybe going for fastest lap. Southern Lucozade now gets past Southern Ping. Southern Ping going deep. Oh, and Despair has hit the back of Southern Ping. Bond's now in P10. That may be his race done and dusted. Seb now getting past Gangster out. Oh, they've made contact. Bond's seemingly going for fastest lap now. Got a yellow flag. Despair having to cut that corner. Despair only one place off from the podium, but obviously has I think he has a time penalty going on to this race as well. I just need to have a quick look at the race report. Oh, no. We have a yellow flag. Not really sure who for, but we move. Red Stars with a 5-second time penalty. Ignoring blue flags. I don't know who's... Oh, okay. That would be Brando, who's now starting to reel in Despair. Seb going off track. What are you two doing? Someone Payne picks up a 3-second time penalty. Oh, that's... I think that's Greg Stars off. Spare gets past Lucozade. Look at DRS. I don't fucking know. Greg Stars into the pits. Bonge is on a fastest lap here. Purple. Oh, and Despair spun. No, he hasn't. Definitely made. And Bonge to set the fastest lap of the race. I'd imagine he'd be able to do it. Duke. Yep. Oh god, Prando. An absolute launch. I definitely want to stay within. What are you there through for? Kill him. I'm joking, don't kill him. I'll fly. Spare picks up yet another penalty. I could actually push him below Lucozade. RSF on Hunt could be on within a podium though. Spare doing everything that he can to try and overtake Brando. Orange is only 2.4 behind Gangster out. It's not too far behind. All Seb, to be fair. Oh, and Lucasade's out. Could be a safety car. Don't think it will. That is a massive shame for the Ferrari driver. He won't even pick up points. That is a massive shame for Lucozade. He won't even pick up a point because Greg Stars is still technically in this race. Pipstream moves up into P6. We only have 2 laps remaining. That is a massive shame for Bonds. Gets past Gangster Al with ease. Now he has to hunt down Seb, who hasn't really had the most amazing race, but I mean from P20 he's can't really complain. Despair gets past Brando, but Brando goes for a move. This battling is definitely going to help Hunt, but you've got to remember Despair does have more penalties. I don't know how many penalties Hunt has. He only has the 1, but he is 1 warning away. Pete doesn't have any. He is 2 warnings away from a penalty though. Despair is going to fall off the podium, unfortunately. Which I think Despair, going from P16, it's nothing to be ashamed about. Obviously he did have that earlier spin, but Pete, Greg Stars pick up yet another 3-second time penalty. He will get that P10 once the... there we go, he's into P10 now. Now Pete starts the final lap of the Imola Grand Prix, sorry. Brando, I think, just slowly backing off because he knows he's going to get the podium anyway. RSF1 Hunt is going to pick up his first podium back to racing in SRL. Despair getting a little bit wary out of that corner with what a yellow flag. That's Seb round, I think. It is indeed. As I said, Seb not really having the greatest of all races so far, and it just shows. Despair 3.8 behind RSF1 Hunt, but it's not going to be enough if Pete now spins, which I don't think he will. Adam needs to coast it home gently. Pete into the chicane for the final time, out of basically into the final sector. And Pete having one of the probably a very decent race from his point of view. We will obviously talk to him after this race, but Pete is going to come home to win the Imola Grand Prix in P1. In Hunt on his return finishes P2. Despair will finish P3 on track, but Brando that makes no sense. Did Brando have more penalties? One penalty. Despair had 1, 2, 3. No. That's a timing glitch, surely. Hang on. Can't even check penalties either because they've finished the race. Right, so Brando does finish P3. we'll invite Pete, wherever he is, there, back to party, RSF1 Hunt, and Brando. So we'll go into recently played. There he is. And then Brando. So there we have it. Pete wins the Imola Grand Prix with RSF1 Hunt in P2. Despair will move down to P4 and Brando moves up to P3. Southern Ping P5, Paper Stream P6, Bonge in P7, Seb P8, Gangster Owl P9, and Greg Stars finishes in the points after Lucasade crashes out. Richard, and I missed the fucking rest of them. Right, who's it? State your names and include your audios. We're just waiting for the winner.
Got me.
Shush, I'll get to you in a second. Right, include your audios, ladies. We will head over to P3 first. Brando, what a battle you, Despair and Bonds were having. And then the safety car came out and yeah, kind of helped things from there. And obviously your battle with Despair at the end, and then for some reason you finished P4 even though you had less penalties, but obviously we will move you up into P3 as we obviously are talking to you. But yeah, just give us a few words of your race tonight.
It's interesting. That's all I have to say. It was under the, I think it was the last safety car. I should have stayed out. Whenever the last pit stop was that I made, I should have stayed out on the mediums and I made one. But it was a good battle.
I mean, obviously we had a bit of a glitch in the first race. I guess we kind of had was a little bit weird, but obviously a bit of a restart. Obviously a fresh set of tyres, and you've come away with a podium. So congratulations. Obviously Haas picking up some very decent points, unlike real life. But yeah, congratulations on your P3, and we'll move over to P2. Welcome to the podium, RSF1 Hunt. How are you feeling after that race? Obviously I would imagine pretty happy with that performance.
Slightly
obviously,
because I didn't have my.
Yeah, just give us a few words.
It's been a while. It's been a while since I've been on the podium. 2 years, I think, nearly. It was good. I had no idea where I was in relation to everybody else because I didn't have my position thing switched on. So I got to line and it said I was in second, and I was like, nah, this can't be right. But yes, I'm quite happy with it. To be fair, I think maybe I could have stayed out and then set a sauce on that. It's the second safety car. Could have stayed out, I think. A bit longer, stretched it because they were quite fresh. But I made a right call coming in on the medium because that felt better. I was able to push. I don't know whether I'd have caught Pete. I know it was looked a bit close on that last lap, but no, I'm happy with second. Yeah. Nice to finish a race without dying. So. I think I made up for last week. But yeah, I'm over the moon with it. I can't really change anything I did in that race, I don't think. But I think the safety cars kind of shook it up. I thought maybe Ben would have won this one, to be fair, but did I actually know
It was in a...
Yeah.
he spun.
That's what happened to him.
Coming out of the hairpin.
Right. I nearly had
He was in for a good race. He pitted not long after the second safety car and kind of went a little bit downhill from. I think he finished P7 in the end. I think so.
I'm lucky to
comeback drive.
I have to say I'm lucky to finish the race, to be fair, because I had a hairy moment under the safety car. On the last one, I think it was drifted out of the second to last corner. I was like, oh no, this is going to be it.
Well, anyway, congratulations on
you.
your P2. We'll move over to the winner, Greg Stars. I mean, not a foot wrong personally. Obviously, your teammate had a bit of a horrible race with a glitch in the pit lane, but was able to come home in P10 after Lucasade crashed out 2 laps from the end. But yeah, just give us a few words off your win tonight.
Yeah, it was great. I was over the moon with it coming off. I think I got a P3 last week, which was unbelievable. I think for my standards. So getting a win here is crazy. I could never overdo this. So yeah, but I was so afraid in the last part of blowing it. So I was very pleased getting it home.
Yeah, well, congratulations. Obviously, you are the first winner of the Imola Grand Prix, so that's a massive congratulations.
Thank you.
Obviously, a very tough race for McLaren. No points scored, so the constructors has opened up slightly. Obviously, a massive incident between Bradford and Let Joe, which will be sorted out within the stewards. It's a very serious incident. Like I said on the stream, not going to blame anybody. As I did say, literally a few corners before that, Brad was lagging quite a fair bit, so that could be a reason to why there was that massive incident. But that is it with this obviously pretty decent race, debut race for SRL. Special thanks to Alfie, who was here during qualifying, but unfortunately that restart killed his game and he wasn't able to rejoin, but hopefully he'll be back for next week. Congratulations to Greg Stars, Adam and Brando on your podiums. We will be back on Wednesday, well, not on this account, but we will be hosting the SRL podcast with myself, Bonge and Paperstream, and I would imagine we'll probably try and get someone else on. But we will be back next week on Monday for another round in Italy. We'll be heading towards the Festival of Speed, or whatever it's fucking called. What is it actually called?
Festival of Speed.
Something of Speed, I don't bloody know. But anyways, I'm probably get told off by Bonge when he watches this. So that is it from us, and goodbye.